This week, I posted my first ever video talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the importance of right-wing voices speaking out to break the left-wing echo chamber that controls the mainstream narrative. As a libertarian, the first place I thought to share my video and hopefully discuss the importance of free speech was with the subreddit r/libertarian. Surprisingly, my video was almost immediately removed. I messaged the moderator to ask if I'd broken a rule or why this had happened. The reason given? I was obviously a MAGA Trumper, and my kind aren't welcome on the subreddit. I'm not here just to complain about some minor Reddit drama. My concern here is for a much deeper problem that this has brought to light. I spoke in my first video about how hard it's been coming to terms with the fact that so many people in my everyday life have made excuses for the killing of Charlie Kirk. But this little event has shown me just how far the tribalism has spread, infecting spaces that should theoretically be immune to this sort of echo chambering. As a libertarian, I thought the one thing I would always be able to talk to other libertarians about is the importance of free speech. This was one small bastion that I thought would remain no matter how crazy the world gets. I was wrong. I'm a believer in John Stuart Mill and the marketplace of ideas. I believe that while I'm not a conservative, I should listen to what conservatives have to say and never allow them to be silenced, lest I lose the ability to potentially learn something about the world. This is an absolute core tenet of libertarianism. And yet, a libertarian space chose to shut me down. Not because of anything I actually said, not because I broke any rules, but because they believed I was a Trump supporter. It's one thing to realize that so much of the everyday world has become hostile to conservative ideas, but this is something much more insidious. When you can't even rely on libertarians to hold space for open discussion on a topic that directly represents their core beliefs, because you are perceived to represent another tribal group. The reason I'm even here making these videos is because I'm finding it hard to imagine how we avoid civil war when people have become so accustomed to dehumanizing people who disagree with them. And the only thing I can think to do is speak up. Try to remind people that we need to talk about these issues and normalize discussion. Otherwise, Charlie Kirk will be just another in an ever-growing line of victims of political violence. And what impact can I have when the few remaining public squares that at least pretend to support freedom of speech are themselves engaging in this sort of political suppression? I'm a nobody. I have no power, I have no influence. But if the war is coming, I need to believe that I've done everything in my power to try to defuse it. And it scares me to think that if my fellow libertarians, supposed ardent defenders of freedom, are not going to help support this message, then we truly might be doomed. This event has only strengthened my conviction though, and I hope if anyone else hears this, that they're reminded of the importance of speaking up, because freedom of speech is absolutely not a given anymore. For as long as we allow opposing ideas to be demonized, this rot will continue. We have to remind people that we're here. We aren't a tiny fringe of extremists. We're just regular people shamed into silence by political propaganda. But fear is starting to overwhelm the shame. When people can be gunned down for their words, when even avowed free speech spaces demonize a particular political group, we understand that freedom is under existential threat. And we will no longer be silent.